Hermetic money secrets. Have you ever wondered why it is that the rich keep getting richer and the poor keep getting poorer? The rich know something that you don't know, yet there are stories of people who have gone from incredibly poor to incredibly rich. What are they doing that you're not doing? What do they know that you don't know? And I'd like to tell you that this boils down to the hermetic principles of the universe. And I'm going to teach you how the super rich, the ultra wealthy utilize hermetic principles in order to earn money and rule the world. But now I'm going to break the code for you so that you can do the same. Now, before I get into it and start drawing on my blackboard, I need to explain to you what Hermeticism is. Hermeticism is a philosophy about universal laws, about the laws that govern the universe. There are 7 Hermetic laws. They are mentalism, correspondence, vibration, polarity, rhythm, causation, and gender. These 7 things all connect together and can all help you earn more money. So let's get into it. Firstly, for those of you who have seen these type of videos before, I gotta draw my diagram. So here we have triangle, so first thing you need to understand is that we live in a spiritual, mental, and physical world. This is the idea of correspondence. And also, before I continue on, if you have TikTok brain, just click off of this already because you're just gonna fail anyway, so don't waste your time if you have TikTok brain and you can't pay attention for, I don't know, a decent chunk of time in order to change your life and earn more money, because the secrets to wealth are not within 30-second clips. So if that's you, bye. The rest of us will get rich. Also, I didn't explain to you why you should even listen to me. I'm one of those people who went from being incredibly broke to having some money. I made over $1 million in less than 2 years, and I continue to earn money, and now I help others do the same, close thousands upon thousands of dollars of sales. So that's why you should listen to me about this, because I do come from not having money to having some money. So the first law of the universe, after I've drawn this correspondence here, is mentalism, okay? Here represents your mind. What is mentalism? Mentalism is the concept that all is mind, okay? That everything in the universe is a mental creation, a creation out of your mind. So what does this mean? You watching this video are having a different experience than somebody else watching this video because of your mind, because of the things you think, the things you believe, the emotions you have, the experiences you have been through. We all perceive reality differently because of our thoughts and our mind. That's mentalism in a quick little package for you. Now, what you got to understand about mentalism is that the universe is a mental creation from what the Hermetics call the All, or God, or Allah, or the Big Bang. Whatever you deem the initial creation spark of the universe to be, that is the All. That is the original creation point of everything in the universe. It dwells within the spiritual plane. So we have spiritual, mental, and physical. This is the law of correspondence. Everything originates in the spiritual plane because, boom, God or the Big Bang or the All created everything that is in existence in the universe. Then you have the mind, which is the mental plane, and then the physical plane, which is reality, the things that you can see, the things that you have within reality. Now, the mind, the mental plane, is the bridge between the spiritual plane and the physical plane. So you use your mind to connect with the spiritual plane and import things down into the physical plane. And if this sounds like some woo-woo, new age, new thought stuff, don't worry about it. I will explain it for you in a very scientific way as we move along. Basically, money begins in the mind. Money is an idea. And since money is an idea, you can use your mind to get it. Money only comes into your life from your mind. So even if you have a particular skill, right? Let's say you're a plumber. You have the awareness, the mental awareness of how to plumb. You have the mental awareness of the motor actions necessary to be a plumber, okay? It all dwells in your mind, and due to that skill as a plumber, you get paid. That's just one example. But money always originates due to the mind. And since money originates from the spiritual plane, because everything originates from the spiritual plane, you use your mind to connect to the spiritual plane and import money into your reality. This is what the richest people do. They don't use their labor, they use their mind. Now there's some labor involved sometimes, but they use their mind to get money. And that's what you need to do to get money as we move on. So that's correspondence, right? I also write soul here, and here's body. Now, so first law of the universe, Hermetic universe, is mentalism. Second is correspondence. Third is vibration. Up here is fast, the initial creation spark of the universe. Down here in the physical plane is slow. So what's vibration? Every single thing in the universe is vibrating. Every single thing in the universe is moving, okay? Even this piece of chalk that you see as an inanimate object, okay? It has particles in it that are moving ever so slightly. If I melt this, it will turn into a liquid. I continue to apply heat to it, it will turn into a gas that you can't even see. Now, every single thing in the universe is moving. There's a concept, and it's a concept because we have not been able to do it, called absolute zero. If something reaches absolute zero, then it is not moving, but is more a theory than something that's actually real, as we have never been able to observe it, we have never seen it, we have never done it, okay? So everything is moving. So some of you are probably hearing this and they're like, oh, yo, this is this vibration stuff, this law of attraction stuff, this frequency stuff. Okay, sure, fine. For those of you who are skeptical, let me break it down scientifically for you, because I come from the music business as a sound engineer. It was my job to understand vibration and frequency in a very technical way. So, vibration, let's apply this to your mind, okay? If everything in the universe is vibrating, how do we get thoughts in our mind? Because we know our reality is created from our mind due to mentalism. So how do we get thoughts in our mind? How do we have things move around in our head and we get ideas and beliefs, etc.? Through electric signals in the mind. These electric signals have a vibration to them scientifically. So if you continue to have certain thoughts and think certain things and have certain beliefs, you are creating frequent electric charges and electric signals within the mind. Frequent, okay? You're frequently doing it, therefore you have a frequency of thought. You understand? The electric signals that are going off in your mind are regularly happening. So if you keep telling yourself, I'm broke, I'm broke, I'm broke, I'm broke, I'm broke. Originally, that started as just one simple electric signal, but then it happened over and over and over and over again, and it is frequent. And therefore you have a frequency. And as we know, whatever's in our mind is gonna dictate out into our reality. Now, this doesn't mean that if you have negative thoughts, that you're not gonna have money, that you're not gonna have relationships, that you're not gonna have quote unquote good things in your life. That's BS that the manifestation space sells you and kind of just traps you and makes you feel ashamed about having any negative thoughts in your mind. This is complete bullshit. There are people that have negative thoughts and still make a lot of money. Why is this? Because manifestation doesn't understand psychology. There is a psychological trait called neuroticism, and some people are more neurotic than other people, okay? Does that mean these people can't achieve anything? No, it's not true. If you have negative thoughts, you just need to use them. Use them as fuel, use them as motivation to get what you want. Michael Jordan did this, okay? Michael Jordan's got tons of neuroticism. That's why if you told Michael Jordan something bad, he couldn't wait to crush you. There are tons of people like this. So use your neuroticism. Don't think that if you have negative thoughts that you can't get what you want out of reality, because it doesn't have to do with that. Now, Here's what you got to understand. When I get to the law of polarity, okay, which is coming up soon because we're talking about vibration now. What you got to understand is that all truths are half truths. So there is validity in thinking positively all the time, and there is validity in not thinking negatively all the time. Why? Because if you're thinking negatively all the time, your mind is going to find evidence for the things that are frequently happening in your mind. So you might actually have money, but you tell yourself constantly that you're broke. You're broke, you're broke, you're broke, you're broke. You tell yourself this constantly. So what happens? The mind starts to look for evidence that you're broke, and you start believing that you're broke, even though you might not be. Even though you might look around your life and say, oh, I have a place to live, I have food to eat, I have clothes to wear, I have a job, I'm lucky to get to do the things I do. But you don't see it because you've constantly told yourself that you're broke. So there is a truth and a half truth to what I'm telling you. And this has to do with the law of polarity, which we'll get to. But why is vibration important? Vibration is important because you need to think about the things that you desire, okay? You need to think about getting the money. You got to think about getting the money. What do you think these billionaires and millionaires and gajillionaires do? They think about how to get money. You got to think about how to get money. You're over there sitting thinking, how do you win the lottery, which is just laziness. I have another video where I talked about that. That's just laziness. That's just a lazy way of trying to make money. You're not providing any service to the world. And one thing that rich people do is provide service. And I'll talk about that when we get to the law of gender. But also, another thing about frequency or vibration can just be called awareness. Your level of awareness. What do you know of the world? If you knew how to make more money, you probably would. Maybe you wouldn't if you're too lazy to take action, which is another thing I talk about because all these manifestation people, because a lot of you found my channel through the manifestation niche, and manifestation makes you take no action because it's easy and ease sells. So don't listen to that because you are going to have to take some action, but you at first need to be aware of the actions to take, right? Awareness is very important. The more aware you are, the higher your frequency is. The more aware you are, the more you move within the God energy, the more you move quickly. Why is this? For instance, that plumber, right? When he started learning how to be a plumber, he didn't know what to do. He didn't have the awareness. He may have been slow. He may have not known the right steps to take to fix a faucet or whatever. Now he has the awareness through practice, through action, through experience, depth, okay? He has an understanding, therefore he has wisdom about how to be a plumber, okay? And now he can do it quickly. The faster he is able to move, the more he's moving within the God energy. He's only faster because he's more aware. The more aware you are, the more money you will make. So imagine he's quicker now. He can go to 10 houses in one day instead of 2 when he first started because he didn't know. So he can make more money. Boom. Okay. That's vibration. That's your awareness. Now, fourth law of the universe is polarity. In the mind, you have negative and you have positive. And this is probably the most important part of learning how to earn money. People have negative and positive judgments. This lives within the mind. People judge. God, the Allah, the Big Bang, the universe, whatever you want to call it, does not judge. Why is this? Okay. If you read the Bible, there's a story of Adam and Eve. And what does Eve do? Eve takes from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. So what happens? She takes of that fruit and you get the fall of man into judgment. The physical plane has judgment. The physical plane has negative and positive. God doesn't judge. God is the synthesis of all things, good and bad. A lot of religious people don't want to hear that, but it's true. If God is the originator of everything in the universe, that means the bad stuff also originates with God. Do you understand? It's the synthesis of all things. So you get good perceptions and bad perceptions. So here, people have pain. Over here, they have pleasure. Over here, someone might have a nightmare state, like, oh my gosh, I really don't want that to happen to me. Over here, they have a dream state or a fantasy, okay? How do you get money? You get money by solving other people's problems. You get money by moving people from the pain state to the pleasure state. And eventually you get them to a state where they don't care about either side. And this is very important, which I'll get to soon. But you have to think about other people's problems. And this is what the rich do. This is how the rich use hermetic money secrets in order to earn money, to get money. They think about what other people need. They think about their pains. They think about their problems. So Amazon, what problems does Amazon solve? You want something at your house, you want it quickly, you don't want to go to the store, you want a wide selection of the things that you want it delivered quickly. What does Amazon do? It solves that problem. Amazon solves that problem for the entire world. This is why they make a whole bunch of money. They are of service. They service many people's problems. If you buy a car, what problem is the car solving? The car allows you to get from point A to point B far more quickly, so you can get more done, do more things, possibly earn more money. It protects you from the elements, all these sorts of things. It solves a lot of problems. Therefore, you will pay, you will exchange your energy, your money to get a car because it's solving a pain and bringing you to a pleasure state. But here's what happens with this. Eventually, people get to a This is a pendulum, and I'm going to deal with this when we get to the next law. People get to a centered state eventually. At first, when you didn't have a car, you really, really badly needed a car. I need a car, I need a car, I need a car. It's winter outside, it's snowing all the time, it's cold, I can't get nowhere, the bus takes long. This happened with me because I took the bus for how many years and it was hellish. And when I got a car, I was so thankful. You cannot believe the amount of pain having a car relieved for me. But you enter this pleasure state for a little bit, right? This dream state for a little bit, like, yes, I have a car, woo, yeah. But for those of you who have been driving for how long and have been driving your car for 5 years or whatever, you don't really care. You're centered, okay? You're centered. You're not swung up between the pain and the pleasure. You're not swung up between the nightmare states and the dream states, the fantasies and this sort of thing. You're not bouncing between these things. You don't have judgment about these things. And the less judgment you have about things, the more rich you will be. This is why people hate billionaires and hate the rich, because the rich are less swung up. They're less emotional than other people. They care less about morality. Now, I'm not telling you to be a bad person. You don't need to be a bad person. We need to have morality in society in order to have a functioning society. Otherwise, everyone would just off each other and we wouldn't have a functioning society. So you do need morality. The judgment element of humans does help us to get along, and it's better to think about, the betterment of all people than just the betterment of yourself, because then you have a destructive society. But billionaires, millionaires, gajillionaires, they care less. And the less you care, the less swung up you are between these emotions, between these pain states and these pleasure states and what's good and bad, the more money you'll make. So let me give you an example. A couple months ago, I think, maybe the top of January, right? I released a course, okay? It was called the Rig Reality Recode. And within 2 weeks, I realized something. Firstly, I had put a lot of work into that course, right? Figuring out all this stuff about funnels and business and automation and putting work into the course, et cetera, right? Put work into the course, so all this emotional investment. But then 2 weeks later, I spoke to one of my mentors and he goes, Seth, don't do this, doesn't make sense. I'm like, what do you mean it doesn't make sense? People are gonna buy the course and they might buy the next realm, then they might, become a one-on-one client with me. If you do want to work one-on-one with me, link is in the description below. I will teach you how to use your mind to earn money and break your income ceilings. So that's what I do if you want to work one-on-one with me, or you can join the next realm, which is my group program. But my mentor goes to me, he goes, no, don't do this. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make mathematical sense. So what the hell are you talking about? And he ran the numbers for me. I ran the numbers, and I was like, wow, if I launch this thing, I have the potential to make tens of thousands of dollars less than I would have made if I didn't release it. So what happened? I had all this emotional investment in this course I had made, and I wanted to keep putting it out, I wanted to keep selling it, but what I do? I cut it, gone. Why? Because it doesn't make sense, and I'm not emotionally swung up about it. Other people will be like, no, I have to sell it. I put all this work into it. I put all this emotional investment into it. It was really hard to do. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, right? And they would keep selling it and they would lose money or make less money than they could have because of emotions. So you need to ask yourself, what emotions do you have that are getting in your way? You're getting in your own way because you're swung up emotionally. Somebody told you to go start a business, or somebody told you to go hire a coach, or somebody told you to go research something or study something, and you're like, I don't want to. Well, that's blocking you from changing your life. The difference between the people who are rich and the people who are poor is the poor only care about how they feel. They only care about how they feel. Let me tell you something. If the person who does what they're supposed to do despite how they feel, okay, goes against the person who does whatever they feel, who's gonna win? Who's gonna win? If I go to the gym despite how I feel about going to the gym, because I don't like to work out, but I go to the gym, right? If I go work out despite how I feel, how much more progress am I gonna make than the person who goes when they feel like it? I'm gonna beat them. That's why millionaires win and billionaires win and all the people with the money win. Care less. I am pounding this point because it's very important. You're letting your emotions get in your way. I'm not telling you not to have emotions because you always will. You never escape polarity. You never escape judgment. You're human. You never escape judgment. If you did escape judgment, you'd be God, right? You'd be the all. You'd be able to manifest things instantaneously, right? So that's polarity. Solve people's problems and stop getting so swung up about things. Actually, I got one more thing to say about polarity because it connects to vibration. And when you understand these hermetic principles, you'll see that they all start to connect together and they all create a cacophony of success for you to earn money. So back to awareness and how it relates to polarity. If you have a low level of awareness, it's going to be very difficult for you to make things happen in your life. It's going to be very difficult for you to manifest things in your life. And when I say manifest, I simply mean bringing something from your mind into reality, simply taking the imagined or the theoretical and bringing it into reality. If you asked me to draw a stick figure, I would first see that stick figure in my mind and then I would draw it. That's manifestation. All this other stuff that people are talking about, don't listen to them. It's nonsense. It doesn't work. Okay? So when you were a child, okay, and you were learning to tie your shoes, there may have been a lot of emotional frustration for you, a lot of negative emotions because it was hard to do, but you had this fantasy about, wow, yes, when I tie my shoes, it's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so great, right? And you go through this emotional swing. But then what happens when you learn to tie your shoes? Yeah, I learned to tie my shoes, woohoo. Pleasure, dream state, yay, fantasy, woohoo. Now you don't care about tying your shoes. You're aware of how to tie your shoes. The less polarized you become, the more aware you become. This is simply what it means to be higher frequency. When you hear all these little new thought people talking, oh, high frequency, high frequency, high frequency, they can never explain to you what it means. They tell you all this other nonsense. High frequency, just your level of awareness. You're more aware. The billionaires are more aware of reality, and that's why they win. That's why they get the money. They're more aware of how reality operates. G's and P's, okay? That's polarity. It's my favorite law. It's the easiest to understand. But we also have the fifth hermetic law, rhythm. This is a pendulum, okay? One of my mentors, Louis Mocker, he calls it the cosmic pendulum. So I have to give credit to him for that because he came up with that term. A cosmic pendulum, okay, that swings back and forth between these pain states and these pleasure states in your mind. The law of rhythm. So the tides go in and out. We have night and day. The earth spins in rhythm. You breathe in rhythm. Your heart beats in rhythm. Everything has a rhythm in the universe. And rhythm will keep you stuck if you're in the wrong rhythm. And this is one of the main things I deal with my clients in the next realm. I help them subconsciously move to a new rhythm. So you're swung up between all these problems and all this stuff, right? Oh, bad stuff, good stuff, bad stuff, good stuff. You have all these bad, scary problems that you're afraid of, and you have all these fantasies that you want to get, and you swing back and forth between them in your mind, and they keep you stuck. This is how they addict you to social media, for instance, right? You have these problems. You have problems in your life, and you go to social media to get these things solved, or you go to YouTube to come get these things solved. And what happens is you're in a pain state. You don't know what to do. You don't know how to earn money. You don't know how to make money, right? So you're in a pain state. And you go on social media and you learn something, and now you're in a pleasure state. Yay. But then you don't do what you learned. You don't take action based upon what you learned. And then you go back to the pain state because your life hasn't changed. And then you swing back to the pleasure state when you go back on YouTube. So you're stuck in this rhythm like whoo, 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 back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And it keeps you stuck. It keeps you stuck even more than frequency and vibration, I think. This is why I work on rhythm so much with my clients, because once you cancel out being in these dream states and these pleasure states, you will move up in rhythm and you'll just have a different rhythm. And a different one, and a different one, and a different one. So it connects a lot to polarity. Once again, the billionaires, their rhythm, they're not swung up. They're not swung up, right? I'm not saying it's the right thing to do, but Elon Musk has Tesla, which is the most highly valued company in the world right now. Oh no, Nvidia is, I think. But highly valued company. But on one side, there's kids digging up cobalt in Africa in order to make that happen. Does Elon Musk care about that? Maybe, maybe not. But however he feels about it, he's centered enough to do that, to run his company. Now, if you're not that type of person who's concerned about that, right? You don't want kids digging up cobalt, then you're probably not going to build a company as big as Tesla. And that's fine. That's fine. There is no benefits without drawbacks. This is once again related to polarity. Whatever benefits you have in terms of making money, right? You make a whole bunch of money, there's going to be drawbacks to that. The problem is you don't see them because you're in a pleasure dream fantasy state. You don't see them. Right? But the people who are less rhythmically swung about this, they make the money. The key to making money, guys, is to be centered. Be centered. Use your logical mind. Think about what you can do for other people. This is the key. So I constantly drill this point because it's key. It's key. Now, causation. This is the 6th law of the universe. Now, I don't really need to draw this because it's simple cause and effect. It's simple cause and effect. I am filming this YouTube video. I'm gonna put it in my editing software. I'm gonna put it together. I'm gonna release it on YouTube. I am the cause of this YouTube video getting created. And then the effect is that you see it, right? Cause and effect. I'm speaking, sound comes out, you hear it. Cause and effect. Very, very self-explanatory. Everything in the universe has a cause. You can trace everything back to the initial creation spark of the universe. Cause and effect. So if you want to earn money, you have to figure out how much cause can you put into the world that creates the effect of getting money. And the causes begin in your mind, okay? What are you thinking of? What can you think of? What can you offer people that solves their problems that would get you paid? What are you aware of? What can you be aware of? How can you become more aware? When I was broke, sleeping on a basement floor at my girlfriend's parents' house, my now wife, right? When I was broke, I thought to myself, okay, I'm smart, I speak well, I dress well. Why the hell am I broke? There is something I don't know that other people know that if I knew, I could start making some money. So what did I do? I studied. I learned about money. I learned about what money is. I learned about business. I learned about economics. I learned about tons of things. I learned about hermetics, okay? I learned about many, many things to increase my awareness. Then all I had to do was take action on the things I was aware of. And you see, there's different levels of awareness. There's knowledge, there's understanding, then there's wisdom. Knowledge is what you're getting right now as you listen to this YouTube video, okay? Understanding is what you will get when you actually do what I tell you to do in these videos. When you actually cancel out your charges and stop getting swung up about things. If you watch my video in 19 minutes, you'll remove all money blocks. It'll help you do that. But if you need more help with that, link is in the description below for the next realm. So if you actually do the things that I'm telling you, right, based upon the knowledge you're getting, you'll have understanding. Then when you have understanding and experience over a period of time and have done actual things, then you will have wisdom, and wisdom will get you paid because you know how reality operates more than other people. This is why rich people can lose all their money, okay, multiple times, if they make it back a whole bunch. Some of you might know who Alex Hormozi is. Alex Hormozi's net worth dropped to 0 3 times. He made back the money 3 times and more. When Alex Hormozi buys a business, he knows how to make that business go to 10 million and 100 million. He knows how to do it every single time because he has the awareness, he has the understanding, he has the wisdom of how to do it. And that only comes from actually doing the thing. That only comes from taking the action to do the thing. The knowledge in your head, sorry, it's not gonna make you rich. It's the understanding and the wisdom that will. Now, that's causation. It begins in your mind, and then you create an effect into the world. And finally, you have gender, okay? Your mind is split in two. You have a masculine mind and a feminine mind. These are energies in the universe. Don't get all swung up and start telling me there's 60 gajillion genders. I don't care, okay? Masculine and feminine energy within the universe, okay? Masculine is a projective energy. Feminine is an injective energy. This is the give. This is the receive. Right? This is the ego. This is the id. If you see my other videos, I talk about this. Don't let people trick you into thinking that ego is a problem. Modern society has twisted what the actual meaning of ego is. Ego was invented by the psychologist Sigmund Freud. And it has to do with your true self, who you actually are, okay? So you're having people say the ego is the enemy, and then people wonder why they're confused and they don't know themselves, okay? The ego is your actual self, okay? What people are referring to when they're saying the ego is the enemy is your freaking emotions getting in the way, things like pride, okay? Which turns into narcissism, which is a totally different video, which I have somewhere on here, I can't entirely remember. It's probably in that 19 minutes money blocks video, okay? They're talking about pride and narcissism and these sorts of things, which are not ego, okay? That's not your true self. That is a charged self based upon fear and other things. So you have masculine and you have feminine energy. Masculine is the projective energy. Feminine is the receiving energy. So let me give you an example right now. Speaking is masculine. It's a projective energy. Listening is feminine. It is a receiving energy. Income is feminine. Selling, for instance, is masculine. I would consider it masculine. Selling is a projection of something like, here's why you should buy this and why it's gonna be good for you. And you get income, which is a receiving vector. So there are so many people, they have a block towards feminine energy in their life, so they can't receive things. You understand? And some people have a block towards masculine energy, so they can't project anything into the world that allows them to receive. What you have to understand about gender is they are linked. Always, they are always linked, okay? Whenever something masculine happens, something feminine happens at the same time. Like I said, speaking and listening. Even if you speak to yourself, you're listening to yourself, okay? It happens at the same time. So what do the rich people do? How do you earn money? Well, you need to project a message into the world, okay? This is project. You need to project something into the world. You need to project a message into the world. This is marketing. How do you let people know about what you do? This is a hermetic principle, okay? Masculine energy. You need to project things in order to receive things. It's that simple. You watch all these manifestation people and they tell you to sit in your house and meditate and get the money, yet you don't have the money. Why? Because you didn't project anything into the universe. They're projecting something into the universe by making YouTube content and telling you to sit in your house and do nothing while they get paid from YouTube and paid from you. So they're not doing what they're telling you to do. Doesn't make sense. Okay? And a lot of these manifestation people, they work with people who already make money. A lot of them, they already work with people who make money. So that person who's already earning money or is a decent entrepreneur has already demonstrated that they know how to project something into the universe to get money. All you need is a little tweaks, probably within the feminine energy to get more income, right? So if you don't project anything, if you're afraid to market, if you're afraid to put something into the world, good luck. Good luck. You won't get money. Don't get money. You will only be paid up to the amount you're willing to project into the world or the amount of value that you project to other people. Okay? A car, for instance, costs a couple $1,000s or could cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, even $1 million, because of the value that is considered within the mind, right? Because, like we said before, money comes from the mind. So value comes from the mind. Value is just an emotion. If you buy a Bugatti for $4 million, it's because of the emotions, the mental signals that it puts out to other people that demonstrate something about you. It's a projection into the world, and therefore you will receive something. You might think, oh, people will think I'm rich or people will think I'm cool. Most of the time, people don't even give a shit, but you think they do. So you went and buy your Bugatti, right? So this is basically how Hermeticism works when it comes to making money. Mentalism, so you got to think about the money. You have to understand that the thoughts in your head are creating your reality. Your beliefs are creating your reality. Do you believe money is easy to get? Do you believe money is hard to get? Do you believe you need to be lucky to get money? Do you believe you need to be super smart to get money? These things are going to start dictating your reality. Correspondence, we got spiritual, mental, and physical. Right? Everything originates from the spiritual plane, including money. Your mind is the bridge between the spiritual and the physical. All right. And I got it right here also within the spiritual plane. You have purpose. You have mission. You have vision. Okay. If you have purpose, you will have a mission. And if you have mission, you will have a vision. And that vision will allow you to think with the prefrontal cortex so you can come up with ideas and ways and plans to get money, to fulfill your purpose, to fulfill your mission, to fulfill your vision. Elon Musk, for instance, however you care about him, it doesn't matter. I don't do politics because that's for the masses. It doesn't really matter to the master who's mastered the universe. It doesn't really matter. Elon Musk has the vision of going to space. You need billions of dollars to go to space. So he's going to come up with the ways. He's going to use the prefrontal cortex to come up with the ways to import money into his life to execute his vision. Okay? Boom. So correspondence, right? Mental connects to the spiritual, and that imports things down into your reality. Then you have vibration, which is just your level of awareness. We understand that the electric signals in our mind are vibrating in a particular way. And if they frequently happen, that creates a frequency. And the frequency is going to start dictating your reality because your mind is going to give you evidence for what you frequently think in your mind. So that's that. That is vibration and awareness. Then polarity. This is really where the money is made. Think about other people's problems, guys. Think about other people's problems. Stop being selfish. Most of the time you are selfish because you are stuck in survival mode. If you need help with that, watch my survival mode video. It will fix survival mode for you so you can start importing money into your life. Think about other people's problems and how to solve them because they will pay you to bring them to this dream state. And eventually, as they center up, they will find other things to buy. So that's another thing you need to do. When you solve one problem for somebody, think about the next problem that they'll have. Have something to sell for that, okay? Polarity, rhythm. Stop getting swung up about things. This is gonna trap you the most. This is gonna trap you the most, rhythm. If you can't figure out how to balance these out and cancel these out, you're not gonna get money. You're gonna stay stuck. So rhythm, swinging back and forth. Causation, cause and effect, that's just regular, self-explanatory. And gender. You must project something into the universe. You must project something into the world. You must market. Otherwise, you're not going to get money. And that is that. Now, if you would like to learn how to combine all these things in a nice, tight bow for you to start making money, check out this video here where you will learn an ancient business model that always works. It works today, and all you need is the information you have in your head. So I will see y'all next time. Peace.